Hello everybody, MightyNifty here, and today we are going to be making tiger bread. This excellent loaf of bread comes to us from the Netherlands. Known as Dutch Crunch in the San Francisco area, this bread uses sesame oil and rice flour to create a truly unique loaf of bread. As anyone who's seen tiger bread can tell, something went wrong here, but I'll explain that, and regardless, this was still a delicious loaf. And after seeing the tiger from my review of the gem collector, you'll love having this by your side to cleanse your palate. So with that being said, let's get started. Alright, so to get started, we're just going to take our water and add 1 packet of dry yeast to it. You want the water to be between 90 and 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Any hotter and the yeast will die, cooler and it won't activate. Stir it up and let it sit for 5 to 15 minutes or until it gets foamy. While that's getting ready, we'll prepare the dry ingredients. Into a bowl, we're going to measure out 500 grams of flour, and to that we'll add 2 teaspoons of kosher salt and 1 teaspoon of granulated sugar. Mix that up and it's all set. Once our yeast water is active, we can add in 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. This is what gives the bread its unique tangy flavor. Once it's mixed in, we can take it over to our stand mixer. I have the dough hook attachment stuck on here and I have it going on a slow speed, and then we'll just pour our water in slowly until it's all settled. Then just knead this in the machine for 2 to 3 minutes on a slow speed. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can always do this by hand. Once it's finished, we'll just add in a drizzle of vegetable oil and spread that around the edges of the dough ball to keep it from sticking to the bowl. Cover it with a tea towel and let it proof for 1 to 2 hours. This is when the yeast is going to create air pockets inside the bread, keeping it from getting too dense. And once it's done proofing, it should look like this. Doubles in size and ready for the kneading. So just knock the air out of it and place it onto a lightly floured work surface and knead the dough by pushing with the bottom of your palm and folding it over while turning 90 degrees, just like you see me doing here. Just for about a minute or two, and then transfer this into a lightly floured baking sheet. Cover it with a tea towel and let it proof for another 15 to 20 minutes. Now while that's going through its second proofing, we can get onto our paste. Tiger bread is known for having cracks in the top, which are caused by a special paste spread on top of the bread prior to baking. It's made with rice flour, and this is where I screwed up. The recipe calls for 60 grams of rice flour to be added into the paste, but I didn't have any rice flour, so I tried making my own. First I tried grinding it in a mortar, but it was too small, so I moved on to a bigger bowl and I was just making a mess, so next I tried plastic bags. 2 of them. They both ripped open. Finally, I tried my food processor. It did an okay job of making some rice flour, but not all the rice was ground up enough to make it through my sieve, leaving me with about 1/3 as much rice flour as I needed and making my paste very watery and preventing the bread from getting those distinctive cracks. So let that be a lesson. If you need rice flour, either mill it or buy it from a store. Either way, the bread came out tasting amazing, so it's no big deal. Normally, you just take some water, mix in half a packet of dry yeast, then add in some sesame oil and your rice flour and stir it into a paste. Let it sit for 15 minutes or until it starts to foam, and then spread over your bread loaf, which should be done proofing by now. Then just throw this into your oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 35 minutes, and it should come out looking nothing like this. It should have those distinctive cracks that look kind of like the spots on a giraffe, but for me, since my paste didn't come out great, it came out looking like an ordinary loaf of white bread. But either way, you just want to let it cool for a bit and then slice it up to enjoy one of the most unique bread experiences of your life. I hope you all enjoyed this recipe. I hope you give it a try at home. Ingredient list is in the description box down below. Be sure to subscribe for more game reviews and nifty recipes, and as always, have a mighty nifty day today.